What's going on YouTube? It's your boy Sarah coming at you again, and today we're gonna be doing something a little bit different. We're not gonna be doing a reaction video. We're actually gonna be going ahead, and just talking about the top 10 albums, my top 10 albums over the year of 2023. Happy New Year first and foremost. It's 2024 now. It's a great time. We gotta leave all the whether 2023 was good, bad, meh, anything. You take what you learned from that year and you move forward and you make it better. We can go ahead and make this year way better than last year. We just got to put forth that effort. So, I decided, hey, I've been doing YouTube for about a year now, and I think, it's like I'm really big into music, video games, and anime. So I decided, let's go ahead and do, top 10, my top 10 for 2023 between those three categories. And today we're going to go ahead and do top 10 albums. These are not just, one singular genre. It could be R&B, it could be alternative, it could be rap, it could be hip hop, all that, anything like, where I feel like, I'm pretty, like I said in my Doja Cat video, I'm pretty, open to a lot of music. I grew up listening to a lot of music. I mean, literally, I'm gonna date myself here, but my first two albums, I had when I was a kid. I wasn't born when this one came out, but my older sisters, they were born. They would give me a CD player, and they gave me these two albums. They gave me Dookie by Green Day and the Backstreet Boys self-titled. So I grew up kind of listening to different things. It's like between different like rock, rap, hip hop, R&B, metal, country. My mom's really big into country. I'm not really a big fan of country, but I've heard plenty of it. And then electronic music, all that. Dance, house, jungle, all that. I'm very big into like open to try a lot of new things, and I think this list kind of shows that. Just because it's like, it is a little mixed jumble of a whole bunch of different, albums that I've listened to through over the year. I listen to a lot of music. I listen to like an album like almost like every week. Every week when stuff drops, I'm always there to keep up and like listen to music. So I'm definitely super big in music, and yeah, we'll see. I hope you guys do enjoy this video. Please, like I said before we start this list, let's go ahead, go down below and like, comment, subscribe. I'm trying, it's a new year, so I'm trying to get to 1,000 subs this year. I'm trying to go ahead and get to 1,000 subs. Just go ahead. This is where we're at right now. We're at, I think, 360 right now. So it's like, it's a bit away, but I know with you guys, I know with the support you guys have, we can make it. So let's go ahead and get to 1,000. But starting off this list, I have right here, I have Red Moon in the Venus by Kali Uchis. Kali Uchis is a singer songwriter, that I very, 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 I've liked her a lot. The first time I think I've heard her was, I'm trying to think. I don't think it was the song with Tyler the Creator. It might have been. No, I think it was actually on Miguel's album. I heard her. It was the first time I heard her. But I don't remember. I think Flyboy might have came out that same year. So it was one of those two. It was either Flyboy or Miguel's last album that I heard her on. And I really liked her, and I've been following her ever since. And yeah, this album's really good, from the songwriting, the dictation, the mood, the lyricism, all that. I think it really, really fits like what she was going for here when it comes down to her talking about her past, her old relationships, her current relationship, just love in general, how some people see her, and want to paint her the villain in some situations, but obviously it's like, it's always two sides of a story when it comes to it. So that's kind of what she's saying in some of the songs here. So I really do like that a lot, and that's why, coming from number 10. Number 9, we have Glaucoma 2 by Key Glock. Very, very solid album. I'm very huge into Key Glock. I've been following him since a very long time. The Memphis rapper, has always been, very hard hitting, talking about, the streets, the life he used to live before, the life he's living now when it comes to the fast cars, the money, the drugs, all of that. And even, talking about, doing this for Dolph, one more time because, unfortunately, his cousin Dolph did pass away last year. And that is it's a sad occurrence because it has been 2 years since Dolph passed away, and that's still very hitting him hard, and he's basically feeling like the torch was passed on to him ever since he passed away, and he's been doing his thing ever since. Glock has been doing phenomenal when it comes to different songs and everything like it. I think just the first 4 songs are such a strong stretch. You keep going into it. I think it's like songs like Randy Orton, things like Chromosomes, all that, everything like that. Those are the 2 strongest songs in my opinion on it. The hard hitting intro, Dirt. It's just you see Glock has come a long way from like where he's first started. Like I said, I feel like he's always been really good, but it's like he just keeps leveling up with each project he drops, and I really love to see that, what he's gonna come through next. Now, over at number 8, I have Heaven Knows by Pink Panthers, which big surprise to me because I'll be honest, I wasn't a huge fan of Pink Panther. So I know she kind of blew up over the past year and a half, and I wasn't really a super fan of like the hyperpop jungle sound that she was doing because it kind of felt a little outdated and like the music on her last project I felt in my eyes. But this one, she really delivered. When she comes in, the first song with the organs coming through on it, and then just all that, and then it just jumps right into it with the beat. It was very good. I think all the features were really good on this as well. Yeah, Central C was okay on it. I think that song was already really good. Had a very good early 2000s nostalgic vibe, and he kind of came in and he was kind of on it. But other than that, I think the features really did stick. I think it was just very good. I think she definitely perfected her sound here. I think songs like Ophelia, the song Ophelia, it's like, yeah, I think I think she does really good on that song. Like True Romance and Mosquito are very good. I think my favorite song is either Feel Complete or Blue. I think the beat and the production on Feel Complete is very good, and it's just a great feel good album. Like I said, she really, I think, found where she wants to be in music, and obviously, we have The Boy's a Liar Part 2 with Ice Spice, which is, just you can't deny it. It's a banger, it's a banger, it feels good. They both do their things on that song. So I really enjoyed this album a lot, and I will keep following her. Like I said, I wasn't a huge fan of her at first, but she made me a fan. I think she has the right direction now and has the right lyricism and the right songwriting and everything. Her voice was always really nice. It's just, yeah, I wasn't super big into how it was done in the last project. But next one, my number seven. No, over here, number 7. This one right here is a lot of people's number 1. And it was my number 1 for a very long time because I didn't know he had it in him, and that would be Lil Yachty's Let's Start Here. And I think, Yachty really came through. I really, really love, the 70s, prog psychedelic rock style that he came with. And I think, it's like majority, he hit on everything in the features. Like, I really love the song Pretty, the song with Tizo Touchdown. Everybody came through. What's this one song with Say Something? Say Something is phenomenal. I think, that whole song is just really good. And then, it has the little outro. I wish that outro song was an actual song. It kind of upsets me that it's not, but I love that song so much. And let's also not even like downplay. Let's talk about the transitions. I'm a sucker for transitions. That's why, I love Life of Pierre 4. It's one of my favorite albums ever. It was basically my 2018 album of the year. It was just beautiful. I'm a sucker for transitions. Let me tell you that. And it's just like so many of these songs just transition so perfectly and beautifully that it just works so well. It's a very fluid album, and I do agree, because it's like some people do listen to albums their first time, shuffled. I think that's insanity, but you can tell this is one of those albums where he wanted you to go ahead and listen to every song from the beginning to the end, and then just go through it, and then you just let it flow naturally, And with that being said, let's go into another album which also does that as well. And another big surprise, because I never really thought I would ever like a project as much from this artist as this is number 6, Tech by Lil Tecca. I know, it's probably crazy. Some people think, but hey, this is my list. I listened to this album a lot. This was probably like pushing up to my album of the year, like top 3, like for a long ass time. And then I really thought about it. I was like, okay, no, it's probably number 6. And I definitely think, it's a big surprise from Lil Tecca. I think, this shows that Lil Tecca has it in him to make a really nice, fluid album. It's not the most cohesive, when it comes to like songwriting, talking about, story player and not, but, for what it's going for, I think it does it very well. I think there's, the first song all the way up until like song, I want to say, yeah, from Eves all the way up until I'd say Dead or Alive, like, it's a flawless, it's like just really good. It's a really good, like, like I said, there's a few misses on here, but it's not many. I do think this is a very good, and then this is another album where it's like, kind of when you get to that last song, you see it kind of flows into it, so you could listen to it backwards, or it's like if you want to go to a repeat, the last song flows right into the first song. I think, Tecca really showed out. He really did show out on this album, and I'm actually really thoroughly surprised, because I definitely counted him out. I didn't think he was ever going to be like that good of an artist. Like, he's cool, but like, but like, I think this was a really phenomenal album. And definitely, like I said, it was definitely one of the better contenders of the year that I've heard this year. Number five. Oh, we're gonna go ahead and get a number five. Number five, we have Lahai. By number five, we have Sampha's new project, Lahai, which I also, again, just like Pink Panthers, I know a lot of people like the first project from Sampha back in, I think it was like 20, because it was like after, it was like 2016, 2017. It's been a while. The last project I really didn't care for. I wasn't really a big fan of him. I think he was always good. He has a nice voice and everything like that, but it wasn't really hitting for me. But this album, loved it all the way through. From what it's like, we have songs like we have Spirit 2.0. I really love Dancing Circles, Suspended, all that. It has that good electronic feel. Good. But it says electronic, but I don't really. I guess it could get electronic just because of like the production on it. But it's like realistically, it's like I feel more so it's just like a R&B album with electronic like influence in it, because it's like it feels more like him just talking about love, life, and just what can be in the world. I really do like that. And it just felt good. It was very good. It was one of the albums that came out on the later half of the album. I think it was like the end of November it came out. It was October, November, and it just it stuck with me. It's definitely a project that stuck with me very high. This is another album. This right here, number 4. I could talk about these guys right here a lot, just because I've been following them since the beginning, and I know they're not huge, they're not big, but it's like if you know, you know. My number 4 is Midair by none other than Paris, Texas. I think the Paris, Texas duo is very, very, very underrated, and they are a group that I think they're a duo that I think everybody should go ahead and listen to. This project here is so good, from the production to the songwriting to the like wordplay, everything like that. There's a few cringy things here. You're young guys, so it's like there's a few cringy lyrics here and there, but it's like what they talk about. It's like when it comes to like addiction, their personal lives, how their families being affected by what they do, what they're doing in music, and not being around. I think one thing that really hits, is like the last song. One of the members says, my brother has a bigger house than I do, living better than me, but it's like I'm chasing my dreams. There's no other high than like him going and chasing his dreams and seeing his fans and crowd and being like and just doing what he needs to do in life, just because it's like he's doing something he wanted to do in life. It's like, okay, somebody's doing better than him in his life, but at the same time he's able to go ahead and go out and explore the world and really hone his craft and follow something that he thinks is right. And I respect that a lot, because a lot of people don't want to do that in the world. They kind of give up. They'll see, they compare themselves around them, and then they see that, hey, this person's doing this. What am I doing? And they just give up on their dreams. I feel these boys can definitely go ahead and take it to the means to be one of the biggest duos, in music industry. I do think they just need a little bit more marketing and push out there, but I love this album. I think they haven't dropped a bad project. I think, there's a little something for everybody on here. They have that, that rock rap grime on there, so it's like, it's a little bit different. So it's like, it's not everybody's taste. I know that, like I said, and also in the Doja Cat video, not everybody wants to hear different things like that. Some people are pretty stuck on just listening to one genre and that's it. But if you open your mind up, come in and just like listen to it, I think you'll enjoy it. Like I said, and if you don't, you don't. But I think everybody here should take this. Just take this and just go ahead and listen to it, and then listen to the other projects and see if you like them. Because if you don't, hey, if you don't like them, that's whatever. But if you do, hey, you're witnessing greatness in my eyes. All right, we're getting into the top three. This 3 and 2, I had to think over a lot. I know my number 1 was pretty definitive. I knew what my number 1 was gonna be like, because there was no project that I think like really blew me out the water like these 3. But number 1 was like just ahead of it by but was ahead of it by like a good margin. But 3 and 2, it was like neck and neck. Like I had like 3, I had 3 number 2, and then I had 2 or 3, and I kept switching it back, and I was like, I had to think about it, and I was like, nah, I think I really do appreciate number 2, like what I have now. And these are projects that I think are top 3 are projects that I honestly think are some S tier albums, like 3 albums that you need to listen this year, that you have to listen to this year. And it's like, if you don't, you're missing out on greatness. Like I said with Midair, you're missing out on greatness. But all right, number 3, we have right here. We have Blanket by none other than Kevin Abstract. Kevin Abstract, member, the main member of Brockhampton. He's been obviously, the band kind of broke up and they're doing their own thing. And Kevin came through and gave us an alternative album here, which I think fit every single crevice I needed for an alternative album. It's just from the energy, the emotion, the lyrics, just talking about life, love, and basically losing obviously friends and lovers and the things of those natures just due to the hardships of the world. It sucks, and because it's like it really does hurt when you lose like people that you think would be in your life forever. It kind of it hits hard. So it's like I definitely felt this album, and it spoke to me. Like I said, it spoke to me. And we had a lot of songs from the intro song, I think is very good. The intro song, when the rope's supposed to break, I think is a very, very good, dark, grim song. Saying it's like, hey, why would I? It's like why do I want to keep going up in the world when it's like it's supposed to break? I'm supposed to fall straight down. I'm not, all that. It's like and just the terrors of fame. That's what I get from it. The terrors of going up in the world, being in the limelight. Why would I want to go up when it's like the rope's about to break, and it's supposed to break, and I'm supposed to crash down to the bottom. All the way to the end. Self-titled song Blanket, the Grays, Voyager, Madonna. I think Madonna's my favorite. So Madonna was the song that really, really stood out to me. Really stood out to me at first. One of my first listen. It's a song I had to play back a few times. I really love it. It has that that pop feel good energy. Just talking about how some people it's like they live their lives to the fullest, but it's like realistically it's like they're not doing too great in life. They're not doing too great. They're living life like they, like they are Madonna, but it's like they're not. And I like that a lot. What Should I Do? Real to Me, Scream, Heights, Spiders, and Dark. I think that's a very good, song right there. That's the song that he really kind of talks about. I really wish, it's I check up on your pages, I look at your stuff, kind of a little weird, but he's like, I still look at your stuff, and I wish what could have been, and that's I would give anything to have any like all of that person. And it's like I get that. Sometimes, like I said, you lose people that you don't want to lose in life, and it's like kind of got to move on from life. And I think this is a album where he really just kind of used that to express his emotions and feelings, and I appreciate that a lot. And I think like I said, Kevin did really good. I never listened to any solo Kevin stuff. I thought he was just a straight rapper too, but I guess now because of Brockhampton, of course he probably wasn't just into that, because obviously Brockhampton has alternative music in it as well. So I think it's something very well, and I think anybody should listen to it. I know, like I said, it's not gonna be for everybody, but I think if you're into the alternative sound and all that, you should listen to it. It's pretty good. Number 2, this is my first time hearing this person. Apparently, I heard she has been in the game for a while. She was a songwriter. This is Jaguar 2 by Victoria Monet. Phenomenal songwriting, singing. Oh my god, her voice is so beautiful. Just chemistry between everybody she's on the tracks with. Production is just 10 out of 10 production. Like, killed it. Every song sounded like heaven in my ears. Like a lot of the songs had that 70s funk type. That's why we have Earth, Wind and Fire on one of the tracks. It's like and she's just talking about love. I said this a lot, but she's talking about I guess losing love more so, because it's like some songs she's talking about like, damn, like you really treated me like dirt, when it's like obviously I'm the person you need in life. It's like I'm the one who like could give you anything you like needed, and I could be there for you. And sometimes some people that's not enough, and it hurts people. So it's like loss of love in general, love of friends, family, all that, her child, she, everything like that. It's very beautiful. It's a very beautiful project, and I think it just hit every mark I needed, every itch. Like I said, it's like if number 1 didn't come out, this probably would have been my number 1. But it's like number 1 came out, and oh my god, it's just, like I said, top 3, all S tier albums that I think everybody should listen to, no matter what. I think they do in their craft, in their respective genres. I think they are some of the top tier, and I think of modern, I guess I could say, of modern music. I think this is a very, very good modern R&B soul album. She really speaks her mind on this album and really gets it away, and it's just beautiful. Like, it's just really beautiful. You know, obviously the single On My Mama, you know, doing the ode. So the old song On My Mama, on my hood, I look fly, I look good. You know, it's just beautiful because the music video was great, doing an ode to the, you know, that time period, you know, the mid 2000s. You know, the the oversized shirts, the baggy jeans. You know, it's, and you know, it's coming back a little bit in a way. You know, it's funny how fashion works. It just goes a whole full circle. Um, but I don't know. I could talk about this, like I could really just have a whole out like video on just these three albums and really like break them down. And my honorable mentions for music here. I'm gonna probably actually. I said this after my number one, but this is gonna be clipped probably be before number one. So if it seems weird, sorry. Um. We have my number one. We have our honorable mentions music where it's like these products were as good. You know, they could have been in the top 10, but they just didn't hit that mark. They were close, but they just didn't hit that mark. I have Lone Star Luchador by Mexican OT. I just found out about Mexican OT this year, and who's a Houston rapper. You know, very very good. I think this project was very fun. He seems funny as well. You know, it has that luchador feeling in there. You know, kind of. I think it's like Mr. I forgot. It's very it's an interesting like, you know, take on the luchador sound with also, you know, rapping and stuff with it as well. Larger Than Life by Brent Faiyaz, which another person I'm not really a huge fan of, but I do think this project was very well rounded and good. But like I've told people, I doesn't feel like a Brent Faiyaz album. It feels more like a collective album where it's like he's bringing people along and like, you know, it's their album and he's just on there doing hooks and stuff like that. Because some songs he doesn't even have verses; it's just hooks. My favorite song is on there. Yeah, it's not even him really. It's just other people are on it. We have The Night Shift by Larry June and Cardo Wang. You know, coming through, the duo come through and they just do their thing. You know, production, Cardo doing his production phenomenally on this. You know, I love that good. You know, old West Coast, you know, pimp feeling. You know, this is something that he's like you listen to, you ride, and you know, you feel cool, you feel fly, you feel like, you know, you feel just like, you know, life couldn't be better. You know, this is that good music. You know, it feels good. We have also Ganger by Bees, which I think is also never. This is a lot of people's number one I see as well. For their album of the year, very good. You know, Detroit, Michigan rapper. Bees came through and did his thing. You know, I enjoyed it. Like I said, it was close, but it just didn't hit the mark like the other ones did. Scaring the Hose by Danny Brown and JPEG Mafia. I think, you know, this is also, you know, this is the alt kids number one. You know, the real rap people's number one. I've been seeing people like talk so much shit about this album, but it's really good. Like it is really good. I think, you know, the production, Peggy's production, which isn't for everybody. Like I said, I told people it just clicked for me one day. I was also against it at first. Like I didn't really get JPEG. Like I think he was cool on other people's songs, but then it just clicked. It just clicked one day. You know, it's just like that sometimes. Uh, but I think it was very phenomenal. Great work between Peggy and Danny. You know, I've been following Danny since like 2012, so it's like I love where he's come in life, and just I'm really proud of him and happy. Yeah. Then we have Scarlet by Doja Cat, which, you know, with behind popular belief, like I said in the video about her, I think the project was good. I just, like I said, I think the first half was kind of but I don't think that half was really meant for me. I think that was more for her female audience, which I get that. You know, I think that that makes more sense. And it's like, it's not like you can't like that if you're not a woman, but it's like it wasn't like what I was trying to listen to. It's not something I would listen to. There were some songs, like I said, the singles. I like the singles that are in there, but it's like I didn't really care for it too much until I want to say it's a song after Fuck the Girls. Gun, until Gun. I didn't really care. It didn't really hit me until Gun. So let's say from Wet Vagina to Gun, that's 97. It was kind of but after that, I think it was really good. I think it was a very solid project. I think Doja did really. I think Doja's a great artist. I think she's in her bag, you know, and it kind of does suck, you know, how like, you know, how she's being seen and the like. Because like I said, you know, she's an internet troll, like, bro, like that's her game. Like that's what she does. Like people like, or she literally took like the hate people were giving, people calling her Satanist, and then made her, you know, made a project about it, because it's like, bro, y'all are scared about this one. It's like, bro, obviously it's gonna get the people talking, and it works. It does. And then lastly, on honorable mentions, we have a project from a person who I haven't heard in a while. Mick Jenkins, The Patience. I think this was a very good album as well. Very, you know, good to his roots, boom bap Chicago style rap, you know, where it's like basically he's not, you know, he's not drilling and stuff, but it's like it has that good like like I said, I guess like New York, Chicago mix of boom bap rap, you know, that good rap, not the good rap, but just basically just feel good, you know, and stuff like that. And seeing, I like the outro where it's like basically telling where it's like he wanted to give up, and you know, he kind of just felt like he was stuck in the same spot for a while, and then you know, obviously he just kept working because it's like, you know, if it's meant to be, you got to keep working, and then you'll go ahead and you'll make it to where you want to be. And I feel like he's getting to that point where it's like more people are talking about him. But I think yeah, that was great. And but number one was an album where I was scared because it took this person so long to drop, and obviously because of unfortunate events, you know, it kind of postponed it. And you know, with that being said, I'm pretty sure you can guess who it is, but you know, I'll talk about it a little bit more before. Um, I was more so scared because I've watched this person, you know, grow from the beginning of their music career, and you know, keep going, and it's like, you know, obviously the newer fans like the last two sounds, you know, of their album a little bit more. And I personally like the original sound that they came out with, you know, the darker, grungy rap, you know, feel crazy, hard hitting beats, you know, that Yeezus feeling, you know, that he got his inspiration from, you know, the Kid Cudi inspiration as well. And you know, I was going to say, you know, my number one album of the year, drum roll, is gonna be none other than Utopia by Travis Scott. Like I said, I followed Travis Scott from the very beginning, you know, from Al Faro to Days Before. Actually, no, I'm lying there. The first album mixtape I listened to was Days Before Rodeo, which story I tell everybody. I was on World Star Hip Hop, and I thought it was Travis Porter. I think that's the group's name. You know, the group, you know, who makes all the, you know, like the party songs. What's the one? Make it rain, bitch. You know, that song, stuff like that. And I thought it was them, and it was Don't Play. It was the Don't Play music video. So I listened to it, and it was Travis. It was Travis Scott, and you know, but he had the $sign on his name. And I was like, whoa, what the hell? Who is this? And I listened to it, and I fell in love. I instantly went to go download Days Before Radio on Dat Piff. I downloaded Al Faro on Dat Piff. You know, back when Dat Piff was a thing, you know, I kind of miss that era, you know, the mixtape era, you know, where you went ahead and, you know, everybody was dropping free mixtapes on Spinrilla, Dat Piff. I think there was one more as well, but I forgot. It was that was a time, but I fell in love with him ever since then. I love that dark sound, you know, Skyfall, Backyard, obviously Upper Echelon, Quintana 1 and 2, Diamonds on My Block, you know, which it's because it's a Travis Scott song, and it's also a Pusha T song, so I had to think about it. I think his is, I don't think his is Block. I think it's Diamonds on My Block for Al Faro there, but you know, that, and then Rodeo. I've you know, Rodeo is one of my favorite albums of all time. It's my favorite Travis album of all time. It's a very definitive album for me in my life. You know, it came out when I was a freshman in college. It was basically the college anthem of, basically the freshman, the college anthem of that year. And you know, we just like, everybody, you went to a party, you would always be hearing something from Travis Scott. And that's really when I started finding, you know, people that listen to him, because when I found him, like, not many people I knew were listening to him. So like when I went to college and people were like, yeah, I like Travis Scott, I felt so happy, because I was like, yes, people like Travis. And yeah, just seeing him grow, you know, Birds in the Trap, I think it's an okay project. It's not my favorite. It's probably at the bottom for me. It's not, it's like, it's the most forgettable in my opinion. It's kind of, you know, he took a very, you know, safe route. You know, it's obviously, you know, I don't want to compare it to that. I was like, because obviously, you know, Kanye hits it with he says My Beautiful Dark Fantasy is his safest route, but it's like, I think, you know, the quality between those two albums do not compare. But it's like, you know, it's a more mainstream appeal album. You know, obviously it has its great songs on it, but it's not that great. And then Astroworld, which is where he really just went to a different stratosphere. I think Astroworld is also good, but I also think, you know, it's a very forgettable project. It's not what I was looking for. It's one I also don't go back to that much. Obviously, like I said, I know that really is what changed his career and what changed. I think he's a phenomenal performer. I saw him. I was at the first show for the Astroworld tour the first year, and I think he's a very, 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 very good performer, and it was a great show. But it's like, in terms of like what, like I said, what I was looking for and how I found him, it still wasn't scratching that itch. Utopia, we finally get to Utopia 2023, summer 2023. scratch that it's so hard. I felt like, you know, I had eczema, and I just basically, I basically was cured. It just felt so good to hear that sound from him again. Just coming in, you know, Hyena, and it's everything, you know, those dark vocals, those dark, hard hitting production, everything, you know, it really sounds like, you know, that kind of, it just really felt, you know, a lot of people compared it to his, the Yeezus, and it definitely did have that, you know, it had that Yeezus feeling again. This is his Yeezus, where it's very experimental, very dark, very, you know, synth heavy, very, you know, hard hitting 808s, very bassy, very pungent and in your face when it came to a lot of the works. And the features are great, you know. Obviously, you know, we have my boy Tizo, Touchdown, my favorite song. I don't give a fuck what you people say. Listen, right now, I don't give a fuck. Because I know people don't like the song. You're stupid. I don't get how you can listen to Modern Jam. I will fight. I will die in a hill. I don't know how you listen to Modern Jam and do not like it. Feel like wanting to dance. Feel like you in the club, like in the late '90s. You know, it has that. It has that futuristic, like DJ sound, like you would hear like in a movie. Like, you know, and I don't get how you can't like that. So it's just so perfect. And I know that's exactly like what he went when I saw, because I didn't see the movie, but when I saw, like, you know, a clip from the movie, and that's basically what it was. It was like a very futuristic, like, party, like club party, and he was DJing. Bro, I was like, bro, this is exactly what I was thinking this would have been. Like, this is what I feel from that song. And it's like, bro, I don't get how you people can't like that song. I don't get that, you know? Like I said, and people, my least favorite songs, and I'll get this out the way. My least favorite songs are Topia Twins and what's the song with, see, I don't even know, and it's like, I love this album, I don't even know like the name of this song because I don't listen to it. Schizo. I don't like Schizo. I don't like Schizo either. Those are my bottom two, which it's like they're still cool songs, but it's like in the terms of quality in my eyes from the other songs, no, it doesn't. It doesn't even hit, bro. It's just like, oh my god, from the rapping, you know, he came back with his lyrics, like, not lyricist, because he's never been a real lyricist, but it's like, you know, he can rap, you know, he could do his rapping, but he hit his old flows a little bit, you know. I really like that, you know, came through on I Know, bro. The rapping on I Know, oh my god, it's just so beautiful. I don't get how that's not a bigger song than it is, because it's like he really did his thing on that. And it's that, Circus Maximus, Sirens, My Eyes, Modern Jam, Thank God. uh and I know people don't like K-pop too, but K-pop's another song where it's like, you know, it does feel out of place for this album, but it's still a good song in my eyes. I don't think it's a bad song. I think it's very, very good. You know, people might think it's very cookie cutter, which I guess I can see that. Like I said, it's a mainstream appeal song with Bad Bunny in the Weekend, but I think, you know, everybody, it's a nice feel good song. Um, Lost Forever is great. You know, I first heard that. I heard that, like, you know, through the leak, but I also heard it live at Rolling Loud like the week before he dropped, I think, or the week before he announced it was dropping. I don't know. I think it was the week because I think he announced it. I think he announced. Yeah. I think he announced whatchamacallit, that Utopia was coming out at Rolling Loud Miami. Um, Telekinesis, which, you know, obviously Future Sounds has always been a great song, but, you know, we got we got Future and SZA on it now, and heaven, absolute heaven throughout for all three verses. You know, Travis comes through with a very melodic, you know, beautiful sound. Future comes through and has this pungent, you know, talking very, you know, very in your face rapping, and then SZA, the highlight of this album, SZA comes through with the most angelic and like heaven sounding, you know, horns behind her, just coming through to singing, then hits us with the Marvin's Room flow. Bruh, I could have cried. I could have cried, honestly. It was just so good. Oh my god. And then just the outro. The outro as well is phenomenal. I think it's a very good outro. I like that. It just flows really good. And it's like, you know, it just feels, you know, until further notice. We just gonna have to wait and see. We have to wait and see what happens till further notice. You know, life. It just has a very, that song has a very, you know, good, like, I think movie feel as well, where it's like, it feels like it could be like an outro, like a credit song or a season finale type song. Very cinematic. This whole project was very cinematic. I really like, you know, even I know some people don't like this either. Del Resto with Beyonce. I think that's also a really good song. Very, very dark, which is like, I don't think I've ever heard Beyonce like on a song. I don't really listen to too much Beyonce to be fair, But it's like, you know, I don't think I ever really heard her like on a dark beat like that. But it's like, I think she sounded really good on it. I think she did good. Not that I think she would ever go into that lane, but it's like, you know, if she ever did, if she ever wanted to put that in her bag, she could do that. I think she could do it. But maybe this goes more into like what I like. You know, I like the darker sounds. But yeah, that's gonna wrap it up. Those are my top 10 albums of the year. If you agree, do you agree? Do you disagree? Go ahead and down below and comment, and you know, let me know. If you hate it, you can let me know as well. I don't know. If you think my opinion's dumb, like I said, you got to remember it is my opinion. I know it's like if you don't like the albums then that I have on my top 10 list, then it's like, you know, hey, you don't like them. That's cool. You can like what you like. I like what I like. But I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Please make sure you go ahead and go down and like, comment, and subscribe for more. Ring that notification bell so you get a notification when I drop a new video. But yeah, that's gonna be it. I'm gonna go ahead and get out of here. See you guys next time. Like I said, the other two are going to be anime and video games, so be on the lookout for those. All right, Happy New Year's, guys. See you later on Sarah Reacts. Peace.